Right, looking at this tank, it's not washing. With these you can go into test mode and you can scroll through all the outputs you want. So if we want to test the agitator, we'll scroll through to the agitator lights on. That's off because the output relay is off, and you can energise that by pressing the pause button. So now that motor's going, and you can stop it again by pressing that. If you want to skip one of the two of the things you don't want to come on, pump. So that's on, nothing happening, and that's our pump contactor. Okay, we've got the test leads across the neutral and the live connection for the coil, and then again we've got 230 volts, 234. So the coil's failed on the contactor. I mean, I was expecting it to be the overload section first, but we checked that and we had 230 coming in, 240, 234 rather, 234 coming out, so when the overload bit's gone. But that coil's failed, and another telltale sign of that is you can't physically push that in, so it's probably melted. And where the coil's melted, there's no space for that to move down. So hopefully we've got one in our box of contactors and overloads that we can replace it with. They're quite odd, these tanks, because they have a 3-phase wash pump. Most of the other makes a single phase. Turn that off. Okay, got a new contactor in there. I've not got any overload small enough because they're only 1.2 to 1.9, I think it is, amps, and the smallest I've got is a 2.5 to 4, so I'm going to have to get some. And we've matched the contactor up. The old one was rated at 3 kilowatts at 240 volts, and the one I've got is rated at 3.2 kilowatts. There we go, 230 volts. So you're always trying to match them up. You want to be the same or a bit bigger. Sometimes the manufacturers undersize them a bit, just to save a few pennies, so it can be worth going a bit bigger sometimes. Anyway, we've bent the pins on the old Danfoss overload, so they're sort of up at an angle, and that's got that piece close enough that the screws can catch the end of the pins. Like I say, it's only putting an amp through there anyway, so it's not like it's a big sort of 20 horsepower motor or something. But that'll do until we get another one ordered up. So that pump should run now when I press the pause button. It's got a little bit of water in there, so the water's bounced up and down the pipe. There's not enough in there for it to get a continual flow, and then it gets air in. So I'll stop that. Oh, that's the dump valve open. So I think we'll put this back together and put it onto wash. Just make sure everything else is working. I've put that onto rinse first because it's quite milky in there, so give it a rinse, then we'll put it onto a wash proper. Anyway, got the old contactor apart, and you can see in that corner where the coil's melted. And quite often you see that where the plastic melts, it comes into the middle where that block needs to travel down. The two halves sort of meet and make a figure of 8 shape with that in the middle. And when the coils go, quite often they'll where they melt, there's no room for that to move anymore. But yeah, it does look, the whole thing looks quite damp actually.